Shalom, call Haloyim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Hakwadash. Double honors unto our apostles and elders, a great millstone that rule well. Much peace and blessings to all you sincere Akim out there that's pushing this 100% truth with all sincerity, faith, and with charity. It's your brother Ash from the Great Millstone Miami Camp, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai Bahasham Hakwadash. This is going to be a quick lesson just speaking on this article that you see right here before you. Okay, this is put up February 28th, yesterday. Okay, the source is Zero Hedge that broke the article, but this is titled FEMA, which is the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Okay, in case of nuclear explosion, maintain social distancing and wear a mask. Okay, FEMA, in case, this is what FEMA says, right? In case of nuclear explosion, maintain social distancing and wear a mask. Okay, so this is what FEMA is letting the citizens of the United States of America know. Okay, this is something they felt necessary to update on their website, man. Okay, and this is straight up mockery. This is straight up mockery. This is the elites of this world doing what they love to do, which is mock you low-level, average, everyday people. Okay, what they like to call useless eaters. Especially you people that have been totally drunken with the poison, the wine of the so-called white man Esau Edom, started with his elites. Okay, mainly you low-level, bugged-out Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Lord's chosen people, are the true Israelites of the Bible. But the majority of you are going to be destroyed here in Babylon the Great, and a lot of you are going to be destroyed by nuclear missile fire. And the elites of the earth notice it's in their plans to destroy America with missiles. Okay, and a lot of you are falling right into the propaganda, the programming. Okay, let's read a little bit of this article. It says the U.S. government has a long history of fun and interesting advice when it comes to imminent death. Now, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, has issued updated guidance to its nuclear explosion readiness public awareness website, which includes tips to avoid COVID. Quote, a nuclear explosion may occur with or without a few minutes warning, reads the page, which was updated on Friday. Okay. Fallout, which our Lord and Savior Yahushua told us to watch as well as pray. If the good man of the house knew what hour the thief would come, he would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Okay, the scriptures tell you, what's that? 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter. For the day, for the Lord, the day of the Lord shall be as a thief in the night, roughly paraphrasing, in which the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, roughly paraphrasing. So it's going to come to a surprise to a lot of people. Okay, it's not going to come with warning, which you may have, Esau play his sirens, and when they get the call that the missiles are on the way. But if you're not in the spirit of the Lord, you're not going to know that it's coming. Okay, but the elect of the nation of Israel, they're going to know what times they're in. And Thawada Yahba Shemel Shah for putting the spirit on our apostles and elders for going to Revelation 13:16. That's going to be a major warning of the impending nuclear destruction. All right. As it says in Isaiah, the 9th chapter, for every battle of the warriors with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and a fuel of fire. Roughly paraphrasing. So the next world war is not going to be a conventional war. It's going to be a nuclear war, and it's going to end with America being totally evaporated. Okay? But leading up to it, before that can happen, that's how we know everything that's going on right now with Russia and Ukraine. It's not going to lead, whatever happens out of this, whether it dies down, whether it escalates, is not going to ultimately lead to World War III, because, well, it's not going to happen right now because certain other things have to happen, like the prophecy of the MOTB, okay, the Haragma. So, you know, Thwada Yabashim Shai again for putting the spirit on our apostles and elders to bring this out. So that's because that's going to be a major warning to the elect that those times are coming. Okay. So let's read a little more. Fallout is most dangerous in the first few hours after the detonation, when it is giving off the highest levels of radiation. It takes time for the fallout to arrive back to ground level, often more than 15 minutes for areas outside of the immediate blast damage zones. Okay, and this is the key point right here. We're not going to have to go through the whole article, but it says FEMA recommends the following steps to prevent significant radiation exposure, which include: try to maintain a distance of at least 6 feet between yourself and people who are not part of your household, and if possible, wear a mask if you're sheltering with people who are not part of your household. You see that? So even in the midst of the most destructive and devastating possible event that can take place on the earth, which is a nuclear warfare, through that they still pushing that propaganda about the damn CV-19, telling you to social distance and wear a mask. Like, who the hell's gonna be worried about that when there's missiles flying, man? And they know this, but this is just straight up mockery. This is just straight up mockery. This is just straight up making a fool of you people. And ultimately, it's the Lord mocking you people. Okay? If you can't see right now that this is all part of a big psyop, then you ultimately will taste this fire. You ultimately will be in this fire when it actually comes. And that's the funny thing about it. That's the ironic spiritualness about this whole thing. Okay? But this just goes to show you, man. they basically letting you know that you're a fool for believing this shit. Okay? Like, really, they really went there. Okay, that was like when Joe Biden last summer going into fall hurricane season. You had Joe Biden said one of the best ways to prepare for hurricane season is to get the jab. Two things that's totally unrelated, but they just mocking you, man. All right, but that's pretty much it. We just gonna get some scriptures. I ain't really have much planned, man. This is just showing you first and foremost that we are at the end. The fact that they even have to talk about nuclear warfare and hiding, getting shelter, which none of that shit is gonna help you, man. When they already have something known as mutually assured destruction. When one missile flies off, when one nuclear missile is shot off, they all getting shot off. And you ain't gonna have nowhere to hide here in Babylon the Great, unless you're one of the super rich elite that going to, have a bunker somewhere out of the country in some neutral area, or deep underground, deep underwater, and they have their different space stations. If you're not one of the super elite, you're not going to be able to escape this nuclear destruction. They're going to be shutting the cities down, shutting the have different, everything's going to be shut down by that point any damn way, because it's all hell is going to already have broken loose. So once you even hear about missiles, once you even hear the sirens, that's it for you. Talking about social distance and wearing masks. Come on, man. This gotta be a joke. But the joke is on you average everyday Americans. All right? The elect of Israel, they don't have to worry about this, because they're going to get beamed up in the so-called UFOs and the chariots. All right? But wanted to bring this out. Like I said, I didn't have much planned. I just wanted to read this. This is Revelation chapter 14 and verse 7, saying with a loud voice, fear not. So like, fear the Most High. So like, fear the Most High, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come. And how is his judgment going to come? Well, the scripture tell you, Isaiah 66:15, for the Lord shall come with fire, and his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his fury and his rebuke with flames of fire, roughly paraphrasing. For by his sword, I don't even want to butcher that. Salakia. Let me just read it. Isaiah 66 and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. That's talking about those so-called UFOs, man. He's going to be traveling deep with the holy host, with the angels. High energy vehicles, pure energy, energetic vehicles, spiritual vehicles. All right. Shooting out concentrated fire, balls of fire. Okay, that's what the angels travel in. Verse 16, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. And when you go into the word plead, it means to judge. So when the Lord says the hour of judgment has come, what's that talking about? The hour of the fire. And that's going to be, as you read in 2 Ezra 13 chapter, it's going to happen during World War III, while these other nations is going fighting, right when they because the Lord has said he's going to gather these nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat in the Middle East. They're going to be fighting World War III, and in the midst of it, it's going to escalate very quickly. It's going to go from a regular war, like World War I, World War II is going to go from that, dogfight, fighter jets, people getting bombed and whatnot, and it's going to escalate very quickly to nuclear missiles being shot, intercontinental ballistic missiles, which they got missiles that can go from Russia to America within 30 minutes. Okay, that's what the Lord said. Babylon's going to be destroyed in 1 hour. But once those missiles are shot, then the Lord is going to appear. Yahweh Shai is going to appear. The different armies, air forces of the earth, of the different nations, are going to stop fighting each other, try to fight against the Lord and his angels. They're going to be destroyed. And before the missiles touch down on America, the Lord's going to swing low and pick up his elect from Babylon the Great and the four corners of the earth, and deliver them from the nuclear destruction. And if you're not of the elect of the nation of Israel here in America, you're going to be totally blown away. All right? For the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth, and the sea and the fountains of waters. And it's the key point. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Right, that's why these people, the inhabitants of the earth, are drunk. That's why they can tell you, oh, in case of nuclear explosion, make sure to social distance and wear a mask. The fact they can even have the audacity to tell you some shit like that is because they know that the people of earth are drunk off their wine, which their wine is their philosophy, their witchcraft, The things they tell you to bug out your mind, their deception. That's why you got everybody walking around, people driving down the street in the car by themselves with the mask on, windows up. They the only one in the car. Okay? People getting jabbed, get the first jab, get all type of side effects, then they go right back and get another jab. Then after that, the next week they go get tested for the C19 again. But you just got the jab. I thought you protected. Oh, they worried about who don't got the jab. But you already got it. Why? They still in this mentality because they're drunken. Okay? That's why everybody crying over Ukraine. And they don't know the first thing about Ukraine. It's just because their media tell you to feel this way about this and feel this way about that. And that's how the majority of people are. Especially you goddamn Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay? You're drunk. Verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, that's that charagma, okay? That, you know what? That prick, okay? That radio frequency identification, all right? Which they getting ready to roll out with this whole, you know what, passport. You ain't gonna be able to buy or sell. You're not gonna be able to travel. You're not gonna be able to take part in everyday life unless you have it. That's why you see this is tied with the nuclear destruction. This prophecy is tied together. That's why in the previous chapter it tells you about that mark, and in the next chapter 14, which I'm reading, tells you about the destruction, because it's a sequence to these prophecies, man. And that's why a lot of you Israelite camps, like Apostle Tar said, you don't understand what time you're in. You're not able to properly measure the time diligently in itself because you don't fully understand the prophecies. So you may be thinking you're closer to deliverance than you really are. Or when the actually time comes, you may think that it's not coming. You see? But anyway, verse 10, the same shall drink. So if you take that mark, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Okay? That's talking about you being destroyed in the missiles. That's the lake of fire. That's hell. That's the true meaning of hell, which is going to be manifested on earth when those missiles drop. All right, verse 11, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Okay, so there you go. And a lot of these people that's going to get the sauce, that's going to get the jab, okay, everybody that's, you know, driving down the street with the car with the mask on by themselves, that's totally drunk. Somebody who will read this article that we just read, or read FEMA's website telling you to social distance and wear a mask, you got some people say, oh, okay, yeah, well, if in the case of nuclear destruction, let me make sure I wear my mask. Okay? Somebody like that, you already know a guy like that is going to receive the charagma. So these people are being primed for receiving the MOTB, and ultimately they're going to receive the ICBM. Okay? But like it says in Habakkuk 2, at the end it shall speak and not lie. They would tarry, wait for it will surely come and will not tarry. All right, the vision is speaking. It's clearly speaking. We clearly see the days that we're living in, man. So, you know, Lord willing, we continue to push, continue to fight, continue to endure to the end. All right, and as time goes on, you're gonna have more propaganda. You're gonna have a lot more mockery of these damn people. And like we said, man, ultimately is the Lord mocking them. Okay, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. So Lord willing, we continue to endure. I just wanted to speak on this. Hopefully it was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rahakodash. Until the next one, Shalom.